My face cam's on today. I'm all showered up, and yeah, I'm sitting here making this video. I'm not joking. I'm joking. Just kidding. I'm not joking around with anything. In fact, this video is sort of serious, and I have to say some shit to an individual named AJ Rolson and give my thoughts on the situation. I'm gonna be making this in two separate parts. I'm not making two videos. This is gonna be one video. There's gonna be parts that I agree with and things that I disagree with. And what do I mean by that? So last night we had a little drama talking about AJ and the things we don't like about him and shit like that. And I was talking with the YouTubers on Benji and Dennis Midwest and shit like that. And AJ was in there undercover as a person that I had no fucking clue was it, so he listened to the whole thing. There were things that I said that I should have not said, and I just want to, and he points them out in the video, and I just want to apologize for that stuff, but I'm going to be talking about those in just a second. I'm just telling you what happened. And yeah, but then another person came in defending AJ, and then it just turned into a giant war zone. Blood, tits, and cum were flying everywhere. It looked like a goddamn Godzilla Titan monster battle. Debris everywhere. Buildings destroyed. It was a massive battle. No, it wasn't really a massive battle, but it was a pretty bad drama. And then I figured out that AJ was in it. And then right after, when I figured out AJ was in it, he heard all that shit. I apologized to him right after, and I told him there are things I agreed with him and disagree with, and shit like that. And I think he can admit that too. And yeah, uh, yeah, it was pretty bad. But yeah, let's get to the things that I absolutely agree with. Or fuck, I can't speak today. There was something I was missing. He did end up making a video about the whole drama last night, and there were things that I agreed with and disagreed with. And right now, I'm going to talk to you about the things that I absolutely agree with. The first thing that pissed him off is that so what happened is that there's a person named or Arielyn, and she joined the call, and then I told her to leave because I mentioned that it wasn't her fight. Yeah, and AJ got pretty pissed off at me about that because she knows him more than I do and shit like that, and I claimed that it wasn't her fight, even though she could have been totally useful for that fight, and I just want to apologize to that. And I also apologize to the person, and I'm gonna apologize to you again. I'm absolutely sorry. The reason why I thought this is because there was another controversy back then with a different individual in the server. I'm not going to say his name, and she wasn't. I have to be totally honest. She wasn't really useful for that little fight because she only said a total of two things. But in this new drama that we had last night, she could have been totally useful, but I really didn't see that coming because last time she only said a total of two things. So I ended up telling her to leave and shit like that. And I'm sorry for doing that, and AJ was there sort of defenseless a little bit. Well, there's only really one person. I was sort of defending him as well, and that's a little thing that I'm going to put at the parts where I disagree with, and at the end of or at the little bit towards later in the video. And he mentioned something about how I spread misinformation about how like fucking that how he hates on Benji's content. He said, and I totally agree with him, and I'm sorry for this, AJ. I never wanted to spread misinformation. That wasn't the goal at all. The reason why I thought that is because you said you disliked the content. In my head, it sounds like that you hated the content. You didn't like it at all. But then I don't recall how I said it because right after that he made the video, I joined his call apologizing for shit, and he's like, he hates your content. And if I did say it like that, I'm sorry. I don't remember. And I'm gonna make this two parts real quick because I'm running out of breath and I need to think. There was a part where I mentioned how he's homophobic and racist. That was because he's making his content more of like Diesel Patch's content, and I'm being a hypocrite saying that. And I mentioned in the call last night that I was being a hypocrite, and AJ even said it too in his video that I'm more making my content sort of like criticals and shit like that. And I was just being an idiot. I was being insecure and like shit like that because I heard black men and I was just being a fucking idiot. Diesel Patches always says shit like that, and he's sarcastic, and AJ is also a very sarcastic person as well. So, yeah. Excuse me. And the last thing, I'm pretty sure this is the last thing. He didn't really mention me a lot, other than Ben and and shit like that. Tren, Dennis, Midwest, or how he said it, Boomer. and how he steals outros. I thought he told me, I'm pretty sure he told me that he did steal an outro, but I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like I said, he is a sarcastic guy, so he could have been totally joking about that. And I don't really remember what he said, and I think he mentioned saying that that was part of the video and shit like that. So yeah, uh, I just want to apologize for that and stuff like that. Now let's get into the parts that I disagree with. What I disagree with is that apparently that I am manipulating ISO, or both. She's being manipulated by both sides. I never wanted to manipulate her. She's too, like, she is a nice person. I never wanted her to feel that way. I don't want to pressure in her choosing a side. And also, I ended up talking to her about the whole thing, and she accepts my apology. We had a pretty good conversation about it, and she respects me, which is good. And I never wanted to manipulate her, not at all. And I was sort of defending her as well in the call as well. And AJ, you can defend, and you can say that too. And when I say, and now I'm gonna get to the part where I say defend. You didn't mention things last night that I said. Like, I totally defended you and ISO, and you didn't even think of bringing that shit up in your video. So you just made me look more like a bad guy, which really pisses me off, because I'm not that bad of a person. And also, I looked on both sides besides fucking Ben and Trend, like, from last night and shit like that, and that really pissed me off. And another thing, this is sort of the last thing that I disagree with. You even making the fucking video in the first place. This was This was something that should have been handled privately. We could all had a private conversation, and all that shit. I don't see why making a video was a good idea, because it's not gonna do anything. And I am thankful that you did put in the beginning of your video that this is your opinion, and and do not harass them. When it comes to the opinions, I totally get it. Opinions are what fix like friendships and stuff, and they help improve each other and ourselves and shit like that. But fucking harassment shit, like, hey, do not harass them in the beginning. He put that in the beginning of the video. I'm thankful for that, but you also got to think that a high majority of people aren't going to do that. And even this fucking comment section, let me show you this fucking thing real quick. So Benji made a comment and sort of apologized for some of the stuff, and AJ did not accept his apology, and he's leaving it up, and he mentioned something about the whole immature thing. And General Thickboy thought, this guy right here, my buddy Jordan, if that's his name, I forgot, I'm pretty sure it's Jordan, he thought it would be a great idea to fucking fuck Ben in the butt by like saying like, oh Ben, you're in trouble, spooky noises, and it fucking brings this up on Benji more like I'm pussy. Like, are you fucking kidding me, Jordan? General, he's your friend, and that was not needed at all. That was very bad on your part. Jordan, you're much better than that. I don't understand why you had to fucking put that in your conversation. You can have your own opinions after that video, because it's making a video more how Benji's a bad guy in this video. You can have your own opinions, and you don't say that shit after fucking watching the video. You can have your opinions. You don't have to have anything changed. But yeah, that was a comment that was not fucking needed at all. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't. There are things I do agree with the video, and there's a lot of things that I disagree with the video, and shit like that. And this video, like I said, is not needed. You don't have to delete this video, because I would have to delete this video then, because it would not like make sense if I just kept this up and shit like that. But I think it's a better way to like. But I think I'm doing the mature thing and making an apology video. I apologize to you in a couple things in a text message after the drama. After you made your video, I hopped in the call and I apologized to you. I apologized to the person. I apologized to ISO. Me personally, not to toot my own horn nor eat my own cum, I'm handling this situation a little bit better. I think I'm handling it well. And I'm sorry if I ever offended you on anything. You're a good guy. There are things I don't like about you, and there's also things I hate that I really enjoy about you. I think everybody is gonna have that in their eyes about somebody. And I'm sorry if I ever offended you. I want to reiterate that you're a good guy in my eyes, and you are a good friend, AJ. And yeah. Anyways, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.